We have some amazing and breaking news, gentlemen. We very recently got a Naruto and TMNT collab. Actual Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto collab from Shueisha and IDW. And it seems like next there will be a Sonic IDW collab. And they say he is collabing with a big series, or their opponent is going to be a big threat at least. Now, Sonic and Dragon Ball have basically been together since like time immemorial, right? The comparisons, the inspirations, you know, etc, etc. The forms even, all down to the characterization of both the main character of Sonic and Goku when it comes to the whole carefree attitude, but, you know, good down at heart, relaxed type characters, right? There's been a lot going on, and it seems like finally there will be an official Sonic collab and Dragon Ball. Now, there is one other major candidate that Sonic could potentially be collabing with, and it might not be Dragon Ball, but I do want to give all the credit over to H-Squid Reviews for their shorts. I think their short breaks it down better than anything, so I will play the shorts for you guys now on the video. Again, keep in mind, check out H-Squad's Reviews channel. He has tons of good reviews over many different things, whether it's Sonic, Dragon Ball, other comics, manga, etc. So please check him out, and without further ado, I will play the short in full for his breakdown.
And people are wildly speculating, and I'm gonna join them. Being that it was recently announced that TMNT will be crossing over with Naruto, many are assuming it's gonna be a manga crossover. Dragon Ball specifically. That makes a lot of sense. I also think One Piece would work really well too, but that's just me. However, let's focus on some wording in that confirmation, that who they're crossing over with is, quote, a big threat. Of IDW's current licenses, I think it's a decent chance it's Godzilla. Godzilla crossed over earlier this year with DC Comics and is currently in the middle of his second Power Rangers crossover, which will be ending in September. Timeline-wise, that works for Godzilla to roll into a third, technically fourth, crossover before the end of the year. And it's not like these franchises are strangers to one another. Whatever it ends up being, I'm looking forward to it.
Again, please go check him out because he puts up some very good points. I did remember the Godzilla and DC collab since it was very, very famous at the time, seeing Superman actually lose to Godzilla all over the internet. It was a big thing. I had no idea that Godzilla's been on a collab streak with Power Rangers and then also Cthulhu. So Sonic and Godzilla, I mean, after Godzilla collabs with Cthulhu, he can pretty much collab with anyone afterwards and it wouldn't be weird. So Sonic and Godzilla makes a lot of sense. But Shueisha randomly announcing their Naruto and TMNT one. In fact, the image here is not final. It says not final art on the actual official post of the TMNT and Naruto crossover one. So it could actually potentially change, but here's an IDW Shueisha collab, and Shueisha also owns the Dragon Ball Super manga, which is, you know, Dragon Ball. So obviously there's a really good chance that we'll be seeing a Sonic and Dragon Ball crossover due to the fact that, again, I think the comic book industry is a little bit more tolerant of manga as a medium as well. Ever since the whole Demon Slayer outselling, you know, every comic book or whatever, all that shenanigans, right? I feel like people take manga a lot more seriously now because there's, you know, there's a lot. It's more easily accessible, and there's a lot better material to read too this time around. So I do think that's helping out a lot, especially. And I think everyone agrees that a Sonic Dragon Ball collab wouldn't just like, it wouldn't even like shake the world. It would be like, it would put a crack in time itself. It would literally shake the heavens, you know? Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. In fact, you know what? Maybe the secret playable character, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, that's never been playable before, is Sonic. Right, that would make sense. You could say, oh, Steve, it's probably a Dragon Ball Daima character, right? Dragon Ball Daima is going to be DLC, so it could be Sonic. And a character you could never play before in any Dragon Ball game. Which other new character could it be? I'm just saying, that's just an idea. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But seeing that the potential exists now, like if this information came out and then we didn't get this, we would obviously like not care, right? We would be like, oh well, I mean, who could it be? Sonic, maybe Sonic and Godzilla, right? That's pretty cool. But Sonic and Dragon Ball is infinite, and I love Godzilla too. Sonic and Dragon Ball would be infinitely cooler. Now, some potential reasons, again, this might not actually happen is because, one, Dragon Ball is extremely difficult to collab with. The fact that Dragon Ball even collabs with Fortnite of anything is quite a mystery, because no one was actually expecting that, because Dragon Ball is just really impossible to get a hold of. It's really hard to like the people who run Dragon Ball, like Toei and all that stuff, they didn't even like really market it all that much either. And then it's even more impossible for Dragon Ball to collab with anything. If I'm being honest, I'm surprised Goku wasn't Jump Force. I'm just gonna say it. And then seeing them announced for Fortnite was also pretty rare. But maybe they've come around and they're a bit more, you know, including of all sorts of collabs and stuff now, right? If we do actually get a Sonic X Dragon Ball collab, that would be peak. Everyone wants to see Super Saiyan Goku fight alongside, you know, Super Sonic. Maybe we'll actually get to see UI Goku and Hyper Sonic, etc., etc., right? We could see the Super Sonic that appears at the end of Sonic Frontiers' DLC, the final Sonic, the Cyber Sonic, right? We could see that collab with like Super Saiyan Blue or something like that. That'd be cool, you know, but there's just a ton of potential for Sonic X Dragon Ball in general, right? There's just too many characters. Again, Shadow and Vegeta. I'm pretty sure even in Shadow's original notes, there was a line that said something along the lines of Vegeta in terms of what his character would be in comparison to Sonic's. So these two have been influencing each other or giving inspiration to each other for like an eternity. Not to mention all the Flash animations where, whether it's Super Mario Bros. Z or some other like Goku-oriented animation, right? People always used to use the old voice lines for Sonic and Goku from their respective games for both characters. People would have Sonic use Goku's "Whoa" from the Budokai games and vice versa, right? It's insane. These two are like the easiest thing that ever appealed to boys, and they existed at just the right time to hit the mass market of all like kids, teen audience, right? If they finally actually collab in our adulthood, I think that would make this exact generation the best generation to be alive. Now again, Dragon Ball is super hard to reach and collab with, so this is all just really big speculation for the meantime. But I'd love to actually see a full-on collab with Dragon Ball and Sonic. I think everyone would love to see it. Again, I don't hate Godzilla, I love Godzilla, but I think it's, in fact, I would say I'd like more Godzilla stuff than more Dragon Ball stuff. But I think it's very easy to say that one of them is much bigger than the other, and one of them also impacts way more when it comes to the way everyone's going to generally see things, right? Like, if we get a Sonic and Dragon Ball collab right now, or like, let's say it's Sonic and Godzilla, first of all, right? Like, if it's a Sonic and Godzilla collab, that would be cool. We'd be seeing, like, lots of cool fan art, quite a few memes as well, just like when Godzilla beat Superman as well. That was a great, funny time to be on the internet as well, right? We'd get a lot of memes. It'd be really funny. It'd be cool. But if we get Sonic and Dragon Ball, that's going to just last forever. Dragon Ball and Sonic have basically already kind of both proven themselves to be effectively immortal in terms of their, you know, the character's strength and iconography, right? Even when Dragon Ball's just not making an anime for like decades, for example, the gap from Dragon Ball Z and GT to Dragon Ball Super, it still remains relevant through video games and other media, etc., etc., right? Goku's one of the most influential characters in all of like just history, if not the most influential character, the most iconic character, next to like Pikachu and like Optimus Prime and stuff like that, right? And Sonic too. Don't forget, Sonic's power is very strong. Because Sonic, on the other hand, and I think a lot of people share this opinion as well. I don't personally, but a lot of people have the belief that most Sonic games are not good. So a franchise that is basically mostly consistent on games, having basically, like, let's just assume most of them are bad, right? Sonic is still as iconic as he is, because he's just too cool. Again, Dragon Ball had a streak like that for a bit, right? We got Ultimate Tenkaichi, Battle of Z. To a lot of people, even Burst Limit and Raging Blast 2 were a disappointment. I don't want to count those games because it's a bit unfair, but you know, they were a bit of a disappointment. We've had a lot of Dragon Ball games back to back that were just outright bad. We even had DBZ Connect. Yuck. We had all of those games back to back, and Dragon Ball still stood strong amongst all of that. So I do believe that a Sonic X Dragon Ball collab would be peak for both franchises, because I get Godzilla's another franchise that refuses to, you know, just fall out of the limelight too, right? Godzilla's infinitely popular. All of these characters are super iconic. However, I do believe if they do Sonic and Godzilla, we'll probably get a -1 Godzilla, because we did see that the other Godzilla volumes here are based on his Millennium design, his legendary movies design from, you know, Godzilla X Kong, his Heisei movie designs in the Power Rangers one, and then another Godzilla at the very end. I do believe that's a Showa era design for the Cthulhu one. So we'll probably be seeing -1 or Shin if they do actually collab with Sonic, because that's the only other super iconic Godzilla design they haven't used yet in their collab series. Either way, I do think that this will be a good place to end the video. Again, most of this video is speculation because we have zero idea on if it's actually going to be Dragon Ball or Godzilla. Either way, it's going to be massive, and I wanted to make this announcement in case it happens to be Dragon Ball, so I could put my video down here in the history book saying, hey, I was there when this was announced. So that'll be it. I do hope you guys enjoyed, and if you enjoyed, then obviously again, please leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe, as it greatly supports the channel, and leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next. Love you all, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take care, and peace.